short here.
You can adjust that.
The mirror, the camera, okay. Okay, now they can see my whole.
Is that better?
Let me take this off.
Okay.
Okay.
It's here.
Okay. All right, so y'all tonight we're going to talk about exercise. I know y'all are all already exercising, so don't worry about that, do we? We're going to talk about exercising before surgery and after surgery, okay? Exercise is always going to be a component to be healthy, okay? And for most of you, that's why you're doing this surgery, because you're to a point that you're feeling bad, you can't do the things you want to do. So, you know, you're looking at your health, you're wanting to get off medicines, you're wanting to lose weight, and, you know, just be able to live a healthier life and feel better, basically. So, exercise is going to be very important to you. It's also important for everybody who's not having surgery, okay? Because as we get older, as we age, we lose things like our cardiovascular fitness, we lose our muscle tone, lose our flexibility. We just, you know, basically, it's kind of like if you don't use it, then you will lose it, you know. So you do want to make sure that you stay active and that you're exercising as much as possible, okay? I just want to kind of go over the exercise requirements. Basically, this would be like for anyone before you're having surgery, maybe, I mean, if you're 2 weeks out, you may not can get on this, right? But if you're 6 months out to a year out, you definitely can get started on an exercise program. And this would be the guidelines that you would go by, like after your 6 week appointment, also. Okay. Your cardiovascular training, you want to typically do 3 to 5 times a week. Okay. That's the guidelines for being healthy. 3 times a week is what we want to do if we're doing it for our heart and lung health. Okay. And 5 times a week is what we typically want to do for weight loss and weight maintenance. And this isn't just for bariatric patients, this is for anybody, okay? That's just the general guidelines, okay? But as bariatric patients, we fall into the area of weight maintenance and weight loss, right? So that's what we're going to want to shoot for 5 times a week, okay? What exactly is cardiovascular training? Cardiovascular training is going to be anything that elevates your heart rate and makes you a little winded, okay? It gets your heart rate up. You're going to be probably sweating a little bit. You're going to be able to say a sentence, but then probably need to take a deep breath, okay? And typically you're going to want to do that. Now you may not can start with this, but typically you're going to want to work up to doing it for 20 to 30 minutes, okay? 20 to 30 minutes is what gives us our cardiovascular fitness. That's what improves our heart and lungs, basically, and the function of our heart and lungs. Makes things a little bit easier for us, like going grocery shopping and walking hills, taking stairs, things like that. It's going to make that easier for you, basically. Examples of cardiovascular training is going to be like walking, bicycling, hiking, Zumba, water aerobics, anything like that, that your muscles are in constant motion and it's getting your heart rate up. And like I said, 3 to 5 times a week is what's recommended. 3 times a week for your heart and lungs, 5 times a week for weight loss and weight maintenance. Another component of fitness for everybody is strength training. After the age of about 25 or 30, we all start losing muscle, basically. So, you know, what you could lift as a teenager, you may not be able to lift as a 30-year-old. If you do not keep lifting, you know, keep that muscle up. Strength training is going to be anything against the opposing force, so like lifting groceries up and things like that. That's working against that muscle, so it's helping to make your muscle stronger. Typically, strength training, you want to do that 2 to 3 times a week per muscle group. You do want to make sure you can break this up in a lot of different ways. days according to your body. But you always want to, they say don't train the same muscle group 2 days in a row. So when you're doing strength training, you want to tear the muscle fiber so that it can rebuild and make a stronger muscle, make a little bit more muscle mass. So that's what you're wanting to do when you do strength training. So that's why you want to give it that 24 hours of recovery in it. So you won't do it every day. You'll only do it every other day per muscle group. Your strength training also helps keep the muscle up. It helps keep the resting metabolism up. It helps keep your bone density up so that you'll have less fractures and things like that. Let's see, what else have I got? Things that would be an example of strength training. Examples of strength training are going to be things like, like you're going to get up and down out of the chair. Well, that would be, if you did that 10 times in a row, that would be strength training for your legs. Okay? If you walked up to your kitchen countertop and you just kind of leaned your body into the counter and then pushed it away, that would be a strength training exercise for your arms. If you're like sitting in your chair, y'all can see the side of my chair, right? If you slide out to the edge of your chair and you lean back against that chair and then you pull yourself forward, that would be a strength training exercise for your abdominals, okay? So anything that is working against the force, that's an example of strength training. Different things that you might use for strength training would be your body weight, okay? Resistant tubings are good. They're little tubing things, stretchy things that you can buy at Walmart. They're easy and convenient for traveling, or take them with you. You can buy a set of dumbbells if you'd like. You can do a gym membership because they're going to have lots of different strength training machines and dumbbells and things like that at the gym. Anything, whatever options, whatever fits into your budget and things, and that's what we can work with for strength training. You could also use milk jugs too, cans, things like that you have around the house. If you wanted to start with that, that would be super. Another component of fitness that we all need is flexibility, okay? Flexibility is going to be like stretching. Like, for instance, if you take your arm and you pull it across your body like this and you hold it for 30 seconds or so, that's going to be a form of flexibility. This is stretching your shoulder, it's stretching your tricep. But that would be an example of flexibility. Now, typically when you do flexibility training, you want to do it for 10 minutes a day, okay? It is best to do flexibility training when your muscles are good and warmed up, okay? So you would want to walk or move around or something before you stretch your muscles typically. I do always recommend that if you're exercising, whether you're doing cardiovascular fitness or strength training, that you do your flexibility exercises definitely at the end. It is good to stretch in the beginning. You'll want to warm the muscle up and then stretch it, but definitely on the end, stretch your muscles. Because if you just go walking at the walking track and then you go jump in your car, what happens if you don't stretch and lengthen those muscles, everything tightens up, and sometimes it can cause injury. It can make you feel real stiff. It can make your muscles feel fatigued, tired, achy. So at the end of your exercise, you're always going to want to stretch, okay? I was thinking about some different things, kind of an example. I know some do say, well, I can't walk because I have plantar fasciitis, I have knee pain. So it's hard sometimes to be able to do things that were up for a long period of time. One thing I do recommend is most exercises, like walking and things like that, you can do from a chair, okay? It's not going to be identical. I just call it chair walking, but basically you'll just sit in your chair and you just lift your legs up and down, okay? You can do that, and you can do it in little intervals if you need to. Get you some music going and get to moving. Doing things like that are going to be better than not doing anything at all, okay? So I encourage you, anything that you can get going like that, do get it going. And we talked about the chair squats for your strength training. Push-ups, you can do those from the counter. That would be a good strength training. So that's just kind of the general gist of exercise and the things that you would do if you're having surgery, 6 months to even in a month, you could get started on that. 2 weeks, you may just be walking and kind of, staying active until the point of having the surgery. But if you're preparing for this months in advance, you go ahead and get started on an exercise program. Now, when patients are in the hospital, right after surgery, when they get you back to the floor, they are going to require you to walk a mile before you leave the hospital. So, if you're to a point that you're having surgery within the next few weeks, do keep that in mind, that after surgery, you'll be up. They'll get you up when you get to the floor, and they'll get you started walking. Now, they will not require you to walk that all at one time, but, over the course of the time that you get back to the floor and you go home, they're going to want you walking, okay? So, might as well go ahead and get in good shape so that you can get that walking in, okay? After when you go home from surgery, we still encourage that walking, okay? This walking helps circulate your blood, which helps prevent blood clots. It helps you get back to your normal routine because, you have had surgery, you've been put to sleep, so you may be feeling a little different, okay? So do try to, get up, walk as much as you can. You will keep this flat walking, okay? During this time, after the first 6 weeks after surgery, you will be on weight limitations, okay, to where you cannot lift over 10 pounds, okay? So don't try to be out getting into yard work season, so don't be out doing stuff like that. If you've had surgery and you went home from the hospital, don't do any of that, okay? At 6 weeks, they'll have you in a little 6-week appointment. You'll go back and see the doctor. Okay. At that point, typically you're going to get released to do more exercises. At this point, you get the option. All patients get the option to do an 8-week membership at the wellness center. Now, this membership, it starts whenever you come see me and I do your program and your orientation. That's when that membership will start. Okay. And it'll last for 8 weeks. Now, your membership is a $2 membership, but you can use it at any of our other outlying facilities also. With this, I usually design you a program that has cardiovascular machines and strength training machines. Now, if you don't live close, don't feel left out. We're not going to leave you out of that. I can do you a home program. Because like I said earlier, we can use our body weight for strength training. It's the tubing. We can walk in the driveway. We can do chair walking. There's plenty of things we can do. So don't ever panic about your exercise because there's always ways we can get exercise. At the 6 weeks after surgery mark, you can go back to doing things other than the flat walking, and you can start lifting over 10 pounds unless your physician tells you differently. But usually if they're giving you that release letter and telling you can do more, then you can start opening it back up. Generally, you want to kind of start with the basic program because you haven't really been doing anything for 6 weeks, so you may feel weaker, okay? When you go to lift your grocery bags, you may notice, hey, I can tell I can't lift what I did lift, or I can't walk, stairs as well. You're going to be doing a lot of flat walking because, like I said, when you go home from the hospital, you're going to be encouraged to walk all the time. You'll be used to flat walking, but the other maybe machines, some people like to do the ellipticals and things like that. Anything like that, you're going to want to gradually increase on. Usually also, I like to recommend that you start with the strength training exercises that hit your major muscle groups. So like for instance, if you're at a gym, that would be like your leg press, maybe your extensions, your curls, your chest machine, a lat pull down for your back or a row. Then we'll do something for shoulders, and then usually the women want to do a little bit extra for triceps, so I do try to include that. We will do some abdominal exercises because most patients, that's a request to work on their abdominals more. That's kind of what I do from a gym standpoint. For home workouts, I do basically whatever you make me a list of what you've got to work with. If it's nothing but yourself, then we'll work around that. If it's tubings and things like that, we can work with you. Show me what you got and bring it with you, and we can work with you. Okay. Um, Also, I wanted to point out a few things that this is just some things that I personally use to help me with my exercise and teaching classes and stuff. I'll kind of refer to. These would be things online that would benefit you. I'm available for all of y'all to get if you have surgery and you've completed your 6 weeks. I can help you. But sometimes you just wake up and you like, okay, what am I going to do today? It's okay. If you get some reputable places, it's okay to go to the internet. Like the Wellness Center follows the guidelines of the American College of Sports Medicine. So anything that you look up from them, it might be listed as ACSM. Okay. That's a good site to go to that gives you they're going to explain exactly how to do things. Sometimes they do print out YouTube videos with different exercises and things to follow. ACE is another good one. They have websites and things to follow too. Some of my friends have done those beach body workouts, and the ones I have watched, they are good, and they do follow safety protocols as far as having you to do the exercises properly. Most of those beach body ones do seem to follow something like they are. Usually the instructors are going to be ACE certified or ACSM certified. So things like that, if that benefits you and you can use that, and it motivates you to do it, then go for it, because things like that, it'll kind of occupy your mind because you're seeing something while you're doing it. Let's see. Also, the flexibility, I talked about the flexibility. After the surgery, you may find that you need to do a little bit more flexibility work. Some people mention that they do feel stiff, so if that's the case, we might up the flexibility more than 10 minutes, or try to be more consistent with it. I do recommend that you to get in and get going into an exercise routine if you're not already exercising. I do recommend that you make appointments for your exercise. So like for instance on Sundays, might want to map out your week and figure out what your exercise days are going to be, because your exercise days are important. Okay, they're part of your life. If you've had bariatric surgery, it should be for anybody. Okay, but definitely if you're to the point you're 6 weeks out, then we need to be getting that lifestyle change. We need to be in a good habit of it. That's how you're going to be most successful, is by doing exactly each step, okay? So you will want to make an appointment time for your exercise. And what that means is like on Sundays, whatever day of the week that your week starts, make you a time, look at your calendar, see, okay, what works best for my lifestyle? What time of day should I try to go? Do I have time as soon as I get off work every evening to go exercise? Or am I a morning person? I want to get up and do it as soon as I get up out of bed. Any of it's going to be fine as long as you're getting it in. Any time of the day you want to do it. Sometimes, for people with small children, it works out better that they do it on their lunch break. And if that's the case, then that's what we'll do, you know. And I tell you to make these appointment times because, um, you know, sometimes life happens, but if you don't have those appointment times, then you won't even know what time you're going to get. You don't even have a plan, okay? So you want to get the appointment times. You want to have your plan of what you're going to do. If you miss those appointments, then I would recommend that on whatever days you didn't have planned to exercise, try to get it in. Okay, try to work out getting a little bit. And I do recommend that even if you can't get in the full length of time, do something. You know, if you can only you had to cut your lunch break short, and that's normally when you get your walking in. Then try to do at least 5 minutes. That way you'll stay in the habit of doing it. Um, if you let your guard down, sometimes that's how you get out of the habit of not doing it. Like, for instance, the snow we had a few weeks ago, that's something that would knock people out of the habit of exercising. They may have been coming, you know, like on a good roll, exercising, you know, 3 to 5 times a week since January 1. But being off that week and not being able to do what they had planned, then that can throw you off your routine. But you've got to know that it's okay occasionally if you miss like that, but you've got to get back on track. You cannot let it go week after week after week missing, okay? Um, you might also go ahead and come up with game plans for, you know, if things like that happen. Say, you know, your child is sick and you can't go anywhere, then you got to stay home. Or with COVID, you can't go anywhere. So come up with a game plan as far as I may do this away from home, but I'm going to do this at least when I am at home. You know, just being more active also in our day-to-day activity by like parking further away when you go to Walmart, taking the stairs whenever available. When you get home at night, don't sit down and watch TV. Don't sit down and scroll on the phone. Stay up, moving around, doing stuff. All that stuff is also going to benefit us and keep us more active. It's going to help our, you know, if you're standing up more, then your legs are going to be stronger. Your core is going to be stronger because it takes all those muscles to keep you upright. Okay. So every little thing that we do like that is going to be what helps keep us active. It's going to be what helps us be more healthy and keep our body to where we can do things we want to do, and definitely weight loss. Okay, and now we do not want to get to our set point weight and start slipping on our exercise, because if you do that, guess what happens? Here comes 1 pound, here comes 2 pounds. If you quit that exercise, it's just going to start creeping back up on you, okay? So you will want to make sure for the rest of your life after surgery that you are exercising, okay? Now, like I said, I know that some weeks you may get in more than others, but do make sure that you get in as much exercise as you can. Does anybody have any questions or anything so far? Okay, is this all right? So one person already had some questions. Y'all, I'm not the most computer literate person. You probably already figured that out. So bear with me. It says, could walking and lifting not heavy boxes at work be counted as exercise? That is going to be counted as exercise. It's not counted as structured exercise. But you know, like if you might not have to do arm weights if you lift a lot of heavy boxes, basically. You probably still would need to do leg weights. Some people find that once they go through different exercises that, you know, they like it may work your biceps a lot, but it may not work your back very much because you're lifting it this way. You're not pulling back on it, okay, to work your back. The good thing about a strength training program is it goes through all the muscles. Like, for instance, you can see my upper body, so I'm going to do the upper body. like for instance, when we design you an exercise program for strength training, we'll do like your chest, we'll go to your back, we'll do shoulders, and then we'll break it down and do triceps and biceps, okay? So we take those major muscle groups and give you an exercise. But yes, that would count as some exercise. Okay, after the surgery, at what point is it safe to exercise? Okay, so you're gonna be walking as soon as you get back to the floor. I did forget to mention this, I'm sorry, but usually I tell patients when you are at the hospital and you are around those nurses where you feel comfortable, if you walked for 5 minutes straight, then when you get home, you walk 5 minutes every single hour, okay? Because you're gonna wanna circulate a lot, okay? If you walked 10 minutes, then walk 10 minutes. If some people walk a whole lot, so if you walk 30 minutes, you could walk 30 minutes during 1 hour and then maybe 5 or 10 during the other hours that you're up during the day. So basically, you're gonna start kind of exercising just immediately after surgery. Now, it is not safe to lift over 10 pounds for that first 6 weeks, okay? So you will not lift over 10 pounds until you come back for your 6-week appointment. And they'll give you a little letter or you'll see it in your chart, my connection chart, that tells you that you're released to do more exercise. And they'll tell you that, okay? Does the 8-week program at the Wellness Center include the pool? Yes. The 8-week membership at the Wellness Center includes everything at the facility. The swimming pool, all the classes, the walking track, all the machines upstairs. We have some educational classes in the classroom. They are limited in number right now, but those classes you are available. You can go to those classes too. But yes, anything at the Wellness Center you can go to. Now at the Tupelo Wellness Center, everything is included in the membership. You pay extra like for child care or swimming lessons, massages, and things like that. But all the classes, the pool, and all that's included. Some of our smaller outlying facilities, they sometimes have to charge for some of their classes. So if you go to those outlying facilities, they may say, okay, this class is, $10 a visit or something like that. And that typically is going to be because the instructor that's teaching that rents space from the wellness center. It gets to be a little tricky, but at Tupelo, all the classes and the pool, all that's included. Any more questions? I like questions, y'all. Right, nobody giving me any. Okay, well, I do encourage you. I don't know at what point that everybody is, but I encourage, even if you're, oh, this is a good one, yes. Will this help saggy skin? Yes, your strength training will definitely help with the saggy skin. Now, okay, it doesn't remove the saggy skin or anything, but what it does is it builds the muscle up underneath your skin to where it looks firmer, okay? And then you'll give your body time for your skin to kind of go back, okay? But yes, it does help with the appearance of that, yes, by having more muscle and things like that. Okay, the membership fee after the 8 weeks, generally it's $50. And I can tell you most of y'all are going to qualify for a 10% discount because of your insurance and things. So it would come out to be like $47 a month. They do not charge any upfront fees for the bariatric patients. That's a good perk that y'all get. What they'll do is you'll come into the Wellness Center, you'll do your 8 weeks. Once you meet with me, your 8 weeks starts, and then I'll tell you what the date is that it's going to end. If you sign up before or right around the last week that it runs out, they won't charge you anything up front. They'll just start your deduction. So everybody's basically comes out to being between $45 and $47 a month. Like I said, that includes everything. So But, and if you can go to that, it's the same applying for the outlying facilities, but the smaller facilities, their membership fees are less expensive. But if you're a member of the outlying facilities, you can only come to Tupelo 5 times a month. If you're a member at the Tupelo facility, you can go to any of them as often as you would like. And our Pontotoc Wellness Center is a 24-hour facility. Okay, the hours at the Tupelo facility are going to be Monday through Thursday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. On Fridays, we open at 5, but we do close early at 7. On the weekends, we are open from 7 to 6 on Saturday and 1 to 6 on Sunday. Okay, good questions. I like this. And I expect all of y'all to come see me at that 6-week mark after surgery too. And I do encourage y'all, try different things. Try things that the 8 weeks cannot start before surgery. It's for after your surgery. But yeah, I was reading the screen. I'm sorry, I'm saying so much. Um, oh, I know what it was. I was going to tell you, venture out and try different things that you never even thought about doing. Like for instance, if you're used to walking, try a Zumba class, try a water aerobics class, because a lot of times you'll be surprised at the exercises that you like doing that you never would have thought that you liked doing. I know, like, yeah, somebody says I love kickboxing and step. Um, we have turbo kick, and then we also do still have a step class. So trying those different things, that your muscles like that. They like doing different things. They like being challenged. A lot of times the exercises that are the hardest for us, that's the ones we need to be doing, because that means we're weaker in that area, okay? So that's the ones we need to be doing. Okay, it says, does the 8-week include the 6 weeks that we can only walk? Typically, we do not do it then. We wait till you can lift weights. Okay. Are crunches okay after surgery? Okay, for that first 6 weeks, you're not going to do anything but walk flat and not lift anything over 10 pounds. But at that 6-week, when you go back for that 6-week appointment and you're released to do more stuff, we will do some abdominal exercises. Everybody is a little bit different. So I usually try, but yeah, crunches are one of the things that I've done with lots of people. Sometimes I do a machine, just so they'll have a little bit more back support. But yes, you can do that at 6 weeks after surgery, not right after. And I will tell y'all, make sure if you are already exercising before surgery, like in a routine and you're walking and you're getting your heart rate up and all that kind of stuff, do not get discouraged if you can't do exactly what you did before right after and you have to build up again. It will bounce back easier, but anytime you miss or not doing the intensity that you were doing, it may be a little difficult for you for a few times. If you're already doing a strength training program before surgery, you probably will tell a big difference when you go to lift weights. So, do not do the same weight that you were doing before surgery. You need to, I would say, drop it down to at least half of what you were lifting, maybe even more than that. is it okay to drink water or Gatorade Zero while we work? Okay, or should we wait? While you're exercising, you can, as long as you don't want to go up or do anything that Ginger and them tell you not to do as far as that. But you will want to, bring your water with you when you go to exercise, because if not, you're not going to get your fluids in through the day. But yes, you can do that. Okay. You will not get a release until you are 6 weeks post-op. The 8-week free week starts when you call and meet with the Wellness Center staff. So if you are not planning on going on a regular basis, you may want to wait. Yes. That was good. Sorry, y'all saw that, I guess. Um, yeah, and I tell, like, we've had a couple of people that have like a lawn business. Like, they say they had their surgery, I don't know, say maybe in December or January, and then they weren't able to exercise until it was time for them to be getting busy. Well, I mean, a lot of times those guys, they're getting so much exercise and they're working so many long hours that, um, you know, they wind up saving theirs until it's cold and they're not working as much and they can't get outside as much. Um, Now, I've had like teachers, for instance, some of them have saved, they want to do the classes, so they walk and do videos and things like that. Because a lot of teachers, they'll get with a friend and use their little things at school, and they'll have like a little class, they'll move the desk, have a little class at their, walking and stuff like that with their little videos. Um, so they wait and use theirs in the summer because they can try the classes and stuff. It does not matter to me when you start it, but I do want you to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, and make sure you're going to be going on a regular basis before you start that, because you don't want to come and do your orientation and everything, and then because when you come see me, that's when it starts. Oh, come on, y'all got some more questions? I know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to tell you. Y'all had good questions. I like that. And walk, y'all, even if y'all are going to do like a walking routine, I do suggest that you walk different places, if at all possible, because that'll help you mentally stay with it too. Like, for instance, if you walk at the parks here in Tupelo, don't go to Veterans every single time. Go to Ballard some. Um, go to the regular walking track some. Kind of even changing up your scenery, it helps make it go by faster and stuff. And hey, there will be days that you do not want to exercise, but you are going to have to tell yourself, I've got to do it. It is my lifestyle now, and I'm going to do it, okay? Because I've been exercising for a long time, and there's still some days that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. But once you get going, I promise you'll feel better, okay? Okay, so if I join the Tupelo Wellness Center post surgery, can I use the Hamilton facility for free? Yes, you can. What I'll do is when you go to these outlying facilities, I just call and let them know just as a courtesy. And I'll also let you, the paperwork you fill out for Tupelo, I'll give you a copy to take with them, because I like for all the outlying facilities to have basically a PAR-Q, which is a questionnaire about you and your health and stuff. I'll give a copy and you'll take that, and then you can go either place as often. They'll know that you've got the 8-week membership. And when y'all go to these outlying facilities, when you pay for the membership, they will limit you to, like, if you come in Tupelo, they'll tell you, well, you've been more than 5 times or whatever. But during this temporary, they don't. They want you to kind of fill your routine out. Okay, it's a perk you get basically for being a bariatric patient. Okay, so it's kind of helping you feel your way out and figure out what you want to do. Okay. Yes, it's okay if you use the gym of your choice. Um, because I know sometimes it's just not feasible for you to come to the wellness center. Okay. I love the wellness center and I want all of you to come to the wellness center, but if you live an hour away, that's not realistic. Okay. So I want you to do what works for your schedule. Okay. Um, I don't. I want you to do whatever you need to do, and I can usually help you with those other gyms. If give you a lot of gyms don't give orientations to the equipment. So if you want that, that's available to you. Because they're gonna have leg presses. I can tell you what you want to look for on the leg presses. I can tell you how you want to set a chest press up. Because they may be different machines, but they're all going to use the same thing to line you up in it. Okay, so I can explain it to you. Okay, where are the other locations? Okay, so we have Hamilton, West Point, Pontotoc, Iuka, and Baldwin. Amory also. Added Amory right before coronavirus started, so I have to remember that. Okay, any specifics about eating before or after workouts? Most people are just eating their meals as normal. You're eating small amounts, so you will probably want to make sure you eat a little something, but not right before you work out. You're probably going to want to eat an hour or so before you exercise. You know, if you feel like you've had plenty that day, then maybe not. Now, um, after the workout, it may be a little bit before you feel hungry after you work out. But you know, if you start getting hungry, then go ahead and eat your little snack or meal or whatever. Just make sure you do bring your water when you're gonna exercise. Okay, y'all take your water with you everywhere you go. But definitely when you're exercising, because as you're exercising and you're sweating, you may need even more fluids. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I wouldn't, like I said, I don't think it would make you, yeah, if your stomach is totally empty, it may make you feel kind of nauseous, but I think if you kind of eat, hour to hour and a half before you exercise, you should be good. After surgery, you won't be eating any large meals, so yes, you will have an exercise routine custom to your own needs. Because yes, everyone's situation is different. Um, you know, we have lots of varieties at the wellness center. Even if you do one at home, I can, be specific with that based on your needs. Generally, if you have, let's just say, for instance, if you have knee or hip problems, then I'm going to keep you away from anything that your foot's going to be pounding down on stuff, okay? I'm going to try to stick with stuff like the new step machine. I'm going to suggest the pool to you. We've got other like the ellipticals. Some people can do the ellipticals that have had knee replacements, others can't. We'll kind of see what you can do. But I'll put you, when you come for your orientation, I put you on the machine and let you see what you can do. Will you meet with me and go over all this again before surgery? On the Wednesday that you come for patient education, we will have a time that I kind of refresh your memory on all this too. I'll talk a lot that day about the walking and emphasize that you do while you're in the hospital, that mile that you walk. And then when you go back for that 6 week appointment, they'll give you my card and tell you basically, okay, here's our email, here's your telephone number, call her and get it set up. But yes, we'll go over. We try to guide you through every little thing, but when in doubt, always ask, okay? Because we sometimes forget. I've got a good group today, and I love all these questions. I'm gonna let Vivian answer how long the hospital stay is. 'Cause I honestly haven't been up there, so I should know that, but she should be on 2 nights. Okay. 2 nights, she says. So I don't know if y'all can see her here or what, y'all. All right, y'all. Anything else? Y'all are doing good. Y'all are good participants. Oh, have surgery on Tuesday and go home on Thursday. Should have known that because they talked about it. You'll be still walking when you go home. Okay, and when can you return to work? Okay, so you will meet um, you will meet me um, again like this on Patient Education Day, and then when you come to the Wellness Center for that 8 week membership, that's when you'll meet me. I do work by appointments, y'all. So if you can, even if you live, like say you live at West Point and you want to use the West Point facility, usually I can do it on the day you come for your 6 week appointment, but I will need to know in advance because I do work by appointments, okay? And usually, I don't want you to get there and have to wait for an hour on me or something. All right, Patient Education Day is a day that they give you lots of information um, on a Wednesday, and it's usually a week to 2 weeks before you have surgery. It's lots of information about your nutrition, your exercise, and what to expect after surgery. So basically, you'll talk to Ginger. I'm Regina, even though I'm on Ginger. My name says I'm Ginger. Okay. Um, Ginger does the nutrition part, and she'll start out first, and then I'll come on from the wellness center and do the exercise portion, and then Holly will do the post surgery stuff. So but we'll do it virtual like this. Okay, I see that I missed a question about the surgeries on Fridays. Usually they do surgeries on Tuesday. Or when do they schedule your surgery date? I think that's going to be specific according to your specific situation, okay? Because of requirements for insurance and things like that. So that would be Vivian might could answer a little bit more into that. Oh, hey, don't worry about the name mix up. I answered anything. Okay. Okay, the stay at the hospital. Okay, and the third, I think they're letting one person stay with you, but they're need to, Vivian could probably give you more information about that.
As far as the visitors, can everyone hear me? As far as the visitors, you will be able to have a visitor. It really needs to be the same visitor. They can spend the night. They just need to make sure that they have a mask because when you're walking in the hall, the patient and the visitor need a mask on. So usually you have that one visitor, but not multiple visitors in the room. And as far as when you get a surgery date, the surgery date is scheduled when you come to your last visit, which is considered as your check-in visit. And as a new patient, you met with the financial specialist and she went over that about the new patient visit and about your last visit. That's considered as your check-in visit. That's when we review everything. You should have already completed everything clinically that we asked you to do and what your insurance asks for you to do. Once all of that is complete, then you will be able to set a surgery date, but not before that's complete because we couldn't submit it to the insurance and get approval unless you have met all those requirements. However, some insurances do not require weight management. For those patients, your main thing is to get finished with the part that we've asked you to do, like whatever follow-ups, tests, or evaluations. Once all of that is complete, then you will come in for your check-in visit and get a chance to choose a surgery date. We submit to insurance based on that date that you've chosen. Any more questions? All right, how soon after the check-in? Okay, so your check-in visit, when you choose a date, that's what drives the pre-surgery education. So usually it's about at least a couple of weeks after your check-in because you need to give it time in order for case management, for pre-certs, and for your insurance to approve it. So usually at least 2 weeks. So the date drives the next step. Any more questions? I think I answered the one about staying in the hospital. And we are a closed off unit, so you badge to get in. It's just for bariatric patients. So if you want someone to stay with you, that's fine. But if you don't, you just want someone to be there for your surgery day and then go home that night, that's fine. We have some great nurses on the floor that will be taking care of you. So it's really nothing that you will just actually need that they can't help you with. And the surgery dates are on Tuesday. Generally, they will do a Tuesday and a Thursday, but that is later on in the year, around between October, December, because of the holidays and different things like that. But early on in the year, it's generally just that one surgical date, which will be on a Tuesday. Every now and then, they may do a Thursday earlier in the year, but that would depend on, just say, if it was a couple of dates of surgeries that are missed because of vacation or whatever, then they will add another surgery date and that will be on a Thursday. But right now it's just Tuesday. Right. Any more questions? All right. So are the surgeries delayed for COVID? No, they are not delayed due to COVID. And right now, with the numbers dwindling down, I don't foresee it being an issue. The surgery will be done at the main unit at the hospital. Any more questions? All right. If it's not any more questions, then Miss Regina is going to end everything, and hopefully we will see you back next month. The one on next month will be, guess what? April Fool's Day, April 1st. So that's going to be the next support group. So at 6 o'clock. So if you would like to join, please feel free. And the speaker for that one on April 1st, it will be Ginger. She'll be going over nutritional advice for bariatric patients. So feel free to join. You can go ahead and register now. They're already up for the entire year, so you can register for whichever one you would like to attend. Thank you for attending, and y'all have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you back next month. Thank you and good night.
Bye. Y'all start exercising.